Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chickens here, back to another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to do a little bit of an updated guide on how to get more power powder in Boom Beach. There's been a few different ways over the past few years, so I felt like it was time. Like, we were due for a bit of an update on this. So for those of you out there that have other tips and tricks for accumulating lots of power powder, let me know down below in the comments, and we'll pin up some of the good ones. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to cover Boom Beach each and every single day. And yeah, so let's get into it. So number one, so the way I'm going to talk about this is, obviously there's three ways to get power powder in the game directly: Mega Crab events, Warship seasons, and yeah, I think that's basically it. So crab and warships will give you power powder directly. Otherwise, you've got to create statues. And then when you, I'll just do one here. So you create statues, you finish it. We'll instant finish this one. And then we have the option to deploy, store, or salvage. If we salvage the statue, we will get 7 power powder. So that is essentially how you get power powder in the game. So we're going to talk about maximizing crystals, maximizing your loot, and what troops to use, and all that kind of stuff in order to get a ton of power powder, which you can see I have here. I've got almost 1,500. So once you get the power powder as well, you should go through different phases. Like, if you're boosting a bunch of statues every day for the sake of an operation, then, you know, you should go through phases of saving up power powder versus actually using it and pushing, you know, for whatever your goals are in the game. If you want to do a big VP push, you should save up tons to boost your ice. If you want to be in a high-level operations task force, you should, you know, kind of use it as needed depending on the base that you're taking down. A lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll simply just boost their masterpiece statues for operations or map clearing to make it a little bit easier, and that conserves a lot of power powder, right? So tip number one is completing the daily events and challenges. So participating in the daily events and challenges, they often offer you, as we can see here with Dr. Terror, with guaranteed crystals and lots of power stones in general. So that's a very easy way to make sure that you're getting, you know, all the daily loot, because stage 6 and 7 on Dr. Terror, if you guys didn't notice, guarantees you a crystal. And one crystal, effectively, as we just saw, it costs 7 crystals to make a statue, right? So, and we destroy the statue, we get 7 power powder. So one crystal is effectively 1 power powder. Yeah, so definitely something to look at in terms of maximizing your power powder would definitely be taking down the daily events, doing the daily challenges, that kind of stuff, especially when it's Dr. Terror. Clearing resource bases can be helpful, although it doesn't, you know, directly get you power powder. It'll just allow you to, you know, have that steady stream of gold flooding into your base, which allows you to, you know, reload your troops more often and attack more. So not directly related, but yeah. Participating in operations. So operations give you, they give you diamonds when you complete them, right? And diamonds can be helpful in terms of power powder because we got a critter launcher in stage 3. Let's go with 3 times speed. They can be helpful because, as you just saw, that means we can create more statues quickly. So that means we can generate more power powder quickly. Now we also have this new let's go with a dark one this time. We have this new resource called time savers. Time savers are used to skip a short amount of time. Now I feel like these need a bit of a buff because as you can see here, I just used a bunch of tickets and we only sped it up, you know, the sake of an hour. So diamonds are the biggest, are the best, most efficient way to do stuff in the game. Okay, so we got a GB there. We're gonna salvage that one. That's gonna get us 7 more power powder. Now, also when you're going through the stones here, we can convert the fragments. If you guys didn't know, we can do that just without having to wait, which is kind of nice. I think before it used to take like 7-10 seconds, something like that. So again, just ways to efficiently, you know, get through your stones, make up your statues. I think they need to come out with a guardian converter that doesn't cost 10 diamonds, because that seems very expensive. But Regardless, so yeah, so little tips and things there just to get your statues moving along. And yeah, the more you're able to complete, the more you're gonna have, and yeah, so diamonds help with that. Clearing the map. Regularly clearing the map of enemy bases and NPC bases. Some of these will provide you with crystals as a reward. Yeah, so I mean, you can always get crystals just from simply clearing your map. You can't get power powder directly, but it definitely does help. And you know, all of the stones add up. So I mean, the basic stuff: clearing your map, clearing your bases, make sure it's empty. And just getting all of your daily stones. The other thing is for your supply chest, you want to almost always, we'll see if we can grind out some NPCs here. You want to almost always pick the stones from the supply chest. It doesn't really make sense to pick any other resource because everything else you can get fairly easily. It's just the stones that you want to be able to pick every time. So again, stones, time savers, gold, what's the best bet? It's going to be the shards every single time. It's just the most valuable, resource in the game. That's the hardest to come by. So the next would be submarine dives. Let's see if we can find one here for you. So you got these little flags on your map everywhere, and your submarine, I believe it can actually pick up straight power powder sometimes. I think it's always covered in a question mark, but even if not, you can still get stones for it. So you should always make sure your submarine is going and doing something, just to log in every day and make sure that it's out plundering for treasure. Now, the other way to directly get power powder in the game is through the trader. So the trader will sometimes offer power powder that you can just simply buy. There's the time savers. So let's see. Can we get one here? There we go. So the trader will sometimes offer power powder that you can just buy with gems. Now, I wouldn't say that's the most effective way, but it's definitely, an effective. It's definitely a way of getting power powder. So, yeah. The next thing I would say, and this is kind of a roundabout thing, is defending your base. So defending your base, as we see here, we got the strategist one. Defending your base will give you diamonds. It generates diamonds and intel, right? So diamonds go into statues. Having a good base layout helps again to kind of maximize, efficiency on everything. And yeah, so Mega Crab, getting as far as you can on the crab is always a good idea. That's going to get you a ton of loot and a ton of power powder. So if you save up like a big statue boost, you can actually use power powder on the crab to get ahead and end up gaining a lot. So that's always a good way to do it. The crab and the warship. Playing the warship season, getting to the diamond rank, that's always going to be a good idea. And that's going to be a great way to just simply get a ton of power powder. I think you get like 30 power powder just for playing the season. So yeah, you can always do that. Now, the one thing we didn't talk about was Power Stone Chance statues. I don't actually have any out right now, but they do help. They do help to increase the sheer amount of stones that you get in the game. So here's stage 6. Here's stage 6. So let's go Shocky. And yeah, so I mean the Power Stone Chance statues, they can definitely help. I mean they're not the end all be all. I think overall you're better off using statues. There we go. There's our guaranteed crystal for stage 6. Better off using statues that are going to allow you to clear more bases, attack more, and basically play the game more and win. That's kind of what you want to be looking at, but the Power Stone Chance statues can definitely help, especially if you're at like lower VP, like where I am right now, and the bases aren't that difficult to take down. Then that can definitely be an option for you to just simply, if you're in like a Power Stone collecting kind of phase, and you just want to make sure that you're maximizing your loot. That is definitely a good way to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and speed this up here. Let's keep coming. And it looks like we are going to fizzle in this one. Let's see. Are we or are we not? I'm not sure. There we go. So we got our last crystal there. And yeah, so that's my best tips and tricks, like kind of an updated guide, ideally, was what I wanted to make for you guys on just how to get a ton of power powder, just how to get as much as you can in the game. So I hope that helps you out. And if you guys have any other tips and tricks down below in the comments, let me know. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch the next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.